try to make it all undone.
Well, g'day, folks. You're Ilana.
G'day, and you're Sean.
And together we are the Downunder Cruisers. Welcome aboard, folks. Nice to have you here today.
Fireworks. Special occasion.
Must be.
Old fella.
Really? Old fella.
In body or spirit? Which one? Neither.
Spirit. Spirit and bravado.
Oh, spirit and bravado. Well, happy birthday, my hun.
Thank you.
I hope you had a good day.
I had a very busy day, but it was very nice, thank you.
Shame you had to work.
That four-letter word.
Anyway, yes.
Let's go into the chat. Let's see who's there. First of all, Bill. Well done, buddy. You made it to the top.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill. Ford man here.
Hey, Kenny.
How you going, Kenny? How you doing? Next was Heather.
Morning,
Hello, Heather. How are you? Najuma Brown. Welcome on board again, Najuma. Let's see. Who else is there? This did the jump.
Hang on. Oh, way up.
But wait.
They did a big jump.
It did a really big jump.
Up to Julie.
Up a bit more. There we go. Oh, yes. G'day, Dewey. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you.
Hey, Dewey.
Dewey, you're up early. We've got Arthur all the way from South Australia, Adelaide. How you going, Arthur?
So we can say good evening to
Yeah.
you.
G'day, mate. How you going? We've got Maggie who's coming in. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you in.
Tapping foot. Come on,
see,
crack the whip. Hurry.
Well, we've got the bunch from the what are they? I always get this wrong. The traveling adventures. Oh, the Adventures of Traveling Mike. What? That is an awesome channel.
It is.
If you haven't had the opportunity, folks, you've got to get across to that channel. That channel has been going for 20 days straight.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. And some of the people that are on there, I don't know. Really? Unbelievable. Anyway, Dana. Welcome aboard, Dana. How are you? We've got, and Dale Bruce. How are you, Dale? Nice to see you, buddy. Now, Dewey is saying he's getting ready for work in a bit, so they would like to stop by. Thank you, Dewey. We're glad you stopped in. Now, let's see who else is in there.
We have a spaceman here.
Spaceman. Solex. How are you, buddy? Nice to have you on board. Bonnie. Welcome. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much.
I think we've seen Bonnie for a while.
No, she's been busy. She's been busy doing stuff.
I hope you're well.
Now, you know what you've done?
What have I done again?
Yeah, now you've caused everybody to do this.
Me?
Yes,
Why?
it's all your fault.
No, because no one knew at all.
Yeah, no one knew at all. It's absolutely a secret. Oh, no, Troy's here. Troy from Nomadic Rat Pack. Of course, the Adventures of Traveling Mike Raid again. Welcome aboard, Troy. Nice to have you here, buddy. Nice to see you.
Everybody.
Let's see who else is there. Who else?
Kim's
we've got Kim here from North and South Homestead. Welcome aboard, Kim. Nice to have you. And Troy's got to get his 2 cents worth in. Happy birthday to you. You hang out in a zoo. You're on a live panel with a bunch of. Thank you very much. We love you too, mate. Najuma. Thank you, Najuma. Much appreciated. Oh, and guess who's here?
No, it's the woman who made it all possible.
That's right. Happy Labor Day, Ma. Happy Labor Day.
It's Happy Labor Day, Mill.
Okay.
My effing Mill, I have to say. Favorite.
Yeah, F for fave. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Mill.
Yep. Look, folks, I decided to well, hang on a second. What's this? Heather says, sorry, I started the happy birthday. Don't blame her. Yep, you're right. It is all your fault.
I think we have missed a couple of people up top.
Have we?
From the raid, yes.
Who I missed?
A couple of names there that I don't think we've greeted. I could be wrong.
No, we greeted everybody because some of them were chatting within themselves.
Within themselves?
Yeah, within themselves. Well, if it was
painful to chat within yourself. How would we hear it?
Easily. Watch Solex. Solex says he's from outer space. So, yep. Okay.
Apologies if we have skipped over.
If we have, yes,
just
please
give us a hoy if we haven't.
What I figured today
acknowledge.
was we would give people the opportunity to come into the chat and just join in with us. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting a link in the chat.
Ed's here from Ed's Crazy
Oh,
Homestead.
Ed.
I think.
Oh,
I
Ed.
think he is. Or
Yeah.
am I not? Am I seeing something else? I could be. I'm sorry. I'm flicking between things.
You're a
So
flicker.
apologies. Excuse me. Do you know what I'm having for dinner tonight?
What?
I'm having fruit.
You're having fruit.
I'm having grapes.
Well, I'm going to have a grape too.
grapes for dinner.
Cheers.
Fruit is good for you.
It is. Depends on the fruit, though. Okay, so I'll just get that out of the way. Okay, so let's see who else is there. Oh yeah, Bill's saying g'day, guys, as well. Arthur, thank you very much, Arthur. Really appreciate that.
I know what I'm doing. I'm looking at different screens. That's
You
what's
are.
confusing me.
Simultaneously
I am sorry.
and
I
at the
am.
same
Yeah, stop
time.
looking. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so I was always into tautology.
There's too
Oh,
much
look
going
who's
on.
popping in. We've already got one coming up on board.
Oh, that was quick.
It was.
Wow. Oh, Philip's here too.
G'day, Arthur. How
G'day,
you going,
Arthur.
buddy?
G'day, Sean. All right, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself, mate?
Not too bad. Happy birthday.
Why, thank you, sir. How's Adelaide treating you?
Not too bad. We had a bit of a dust storm yesterday come through. It was
Yep.
yeah. Looked very apocalyptic yesterday.
We've had one of those before.
Oh,
Hang on a sec. I've got to go into the chat for a minute.
few
Philip,
greetings.
thank you very much.
Captain Stooping.
Yeah, thank you very much. On the love boat, he calls me, right? Yeah.
I want to call Captain Stooping something else, but I won't
Yeah,
say
be
what it
nice. Be
is.
nice. It's only Stubing. Yep.
90th. Oh, charming,
90th.
Philip. Yes.
I don't look a
Stop.
day over 91.
That's true.
In there is Mum. I'm glad to hear you're having a healthy dinner. Yeah,
We'll
I was.
drink- we'll drink to that.
I'll drink to any. Hey, have you got a drink, Arthur? Hello, young lady.
Oh, hello.
Have you got something to drink there, Arthur?
Yes.
Oh, well done. Well,
Cheers, mate.
is that vodka gin?
Vodka and lemonade.
Vodka lemonade.
All right, we'll let you
Cheers.
off. Guys, if anybody wants to join us in the chat, feel welcome.
Now, how was Troy spelt your name tonight? Right.
Troy spelt my name kind of incorrectly, but hey, we'll let him off.
We know. Yeah.
We can't come up on panel. We're a bunch of shy rats.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
You're always in the
Yeah.
basement,
Yeah.
so that's cool. Dana wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you very much, Dana. Interesting. We've got a bunch of people from all around the world having a listen in. Some from
Fabulous.
Canada, some from the US, and a bunch of
Alaska.
Aussies and Alaska and so
Amazing.
forth. Hey, Arthur, tell me, how's the COVID shots happening down in South Australia?
Non-existent.
Yeah, it begins
It's
to
not
feel
happening.
like that. Yeah.
Ever since the pause, as
Yep.
ScoMo has put it, that pretty much has thrown everything into disarray for a lot of people.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, do you see there's a message from Heather at Us and More? She's asking, how's Brooklyn?
Oh, she's here.
Yes.
Well,
She's here.
get it to pop
And,
on. Get it to pop on.
My little granddaughter is here as well. And they
Awesome.
wanna
Oh, lovely.
Come
Awesome.
say hello.
Oh, good. That's nice.
Philip is saying, no, it's also Gavin McLeod's 90th birthday, the actor who played the captain on the Love Boat. Oh, wow.
Hello.
Is that gorgeous or what? Hey, Brooklyn.
Hello,
How you
Brooklyn.
doing?
And who's your little granddaughter?
Her name's Lexi.
Lexi.
Hey, Lexi.
And is that a very big pink? Is that a rabbit? What is that? Is
It
that a
is.
pink rabbit? Oh,
You got an awe from Maggie. She thinks Lexi's cute.
Thank you.
very sweet.
Thank you,
Is that
Maggie.
hello, by the way, is that hello to David?
No, I didn't see Dave there. How you going, buddy?
Just snuck in there.
Dave, you
Hey, David.
snuck in there. And also, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Dave, why don't you plug in the microwave and pop up with us and have a chat? or is it the curling iron? I can't remember which.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
tonight.
whatever's working. Heather is saying, "Hey, granddaughter in Brooklyn, how are you?"
We're well. Thanks, Heather. They're all
And-
she's a bit fascinated with what's going on, so it's kind of good that she's
Awesome.
like
Awesome.
Both of
Nomadic
them are
Rat,
cuties.
Troy at Nomadic Rat Pack is saying, Ilana and Sean, I'm going to put you up on the 50-inch big screen and watch, which means I'll be able to chat, but I'm always watching. Oh, I'm watching you, Troy. I'm always watching.
He is always
Where did that
watching.
come from? Do you know where that came from, Brooklyn?
No,
I'm
she wouldn't.
watching you, Wazowski. Always.
Yeah.
Which
Monsters
movie?
Inc.
That's
It
it.
is.
That's it. So, news out there. Are we going to travel or are we not? What do you reckon?
Me?
Yep.
I think with this pause that's been put on our vaccination rollout, I think that's severely impacted Australia opening up to the rest of the world as far as tourism, which delays us getting out there and people coming in here. I think it's going to open us up for more outbreaks and more lockdowns, which I don't think it's a good idea for Australia at the moment. We've done such a good job at containing it, so that if we had our vaccines rolled out, we would be ahead with everybody and be able to travel fully vaccinated. But
Yeah,
no,
my worry is that, there was that talk that we would possibly be locked down until 2024. That's a very scary thought. Very scary thought.
Yeah, I saw the same article as you saying that the international travel won't resume to normal levels until 2024. So you're probably looking at 2023 before some sort of bubble-like international travel will occur, I reckon.
Well, Bonnie was bringing up the comment there that asking if we can travel between Australia and New Zealand. Right now, as of next week, I think it is, we will be able to travel between New Zealand quite happily. Oh, look who's come up, the microwave. G'day, Dave. How you going, buddy?
Hello.
How's it hanging?
How are we going?
Good.
Dave, no Arthur?
G'day, Arthur. How are you?
Not too bad, David. How are you?
Good, mate. Good.
Hi, kids.
Hello, kids. Look at the little face.
Hello, Sue.
Hey, what's the shirt say?
I don't
Don't
always
always-
stop to look at aeroplanes. Oh, wait. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm kind of like that too. I do that.
I wonder what's that noise going overhead.
Gee, I miss flying.
Mate, I miss any form of
We
travel.
all
Come on,
do.
don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do. And I constantly see the cruise lines taking bookings, and I just think, what's going on?
Well, the issue I've got is what is going on with the vaccine here. I mean, everywhere else around the world, they're busy vaccinating left, right, and center. I mean, you look at Israel. Israel has vaccinated pretty much more than half of their population. You look at the US, they've been going gun blazers. You look at here, what have we done? We can't even sneeze.
Yeah, the way that they've rolled it out, the way that they put all their eggs into one basket, the way I look at it, and I think that if they had different, what's the best way to describe? The best way to describe it is if they had different eggs, metaphorically speaking here, instead of just relying on the one egg, so to speak. So, instead of relying on AstraZeneca, they should have had the Pfizer all lined up. They should have had the other ones which have been improved in other countries lined up as well. So, it's not just one weapon that wipes everything out. It's, you're using different weapons in this war, basically.
Yeah, but we have the Pfizer, like 20 million doses of the Pfizer.
Have been purchased, yes.
Yes,
I mean,
but that when he was quizzed about it, which I found absolutely funny, was when they said, "Is this an additional 20 million, or is this what we're waiting for, the 20 million?" And he's like, "No, it's the 20 million that we were originally waiting for." So, when he turns around and says, "Oh, we purchased an additional 20 million," so does that mean 40 million total, or is it the 20 million which we're still waiting for that was supposed to be delivered in March, which never happened?
Yeah, but we're also supposed to get how many of the AstraZeneca as well? That was meant to be rolling off the production line.
Million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonnie is saying this coming Saturday she gets her second Pfizer vaccine. Will be fully vaccinated. Yeah. Also, will be allowed to travel, allowed to cruise.
Lucky you.
Yep. Let's see who else is there. See, Fordman here.
He's back.
He's back. He's been doing all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on. Philip is saying the doctor told me he got my wife's tests mixed up. She either has Alzheimer's or COVID. Asked what shall I do? He said take her for a walk and leave her. If I hear a knock at the door, don't let her in. Dave, that's something I would have expected you to have done. Oops, sorry, Sue.
That's funny.
Sorry, that's funny. You're an idiot. Sorry, that's funny.
Good one.
Sue.
That's a good one.
Sue, there's only one way to talk to me, and it's not you're an idiot, it's you're Sir Idiot.
Okay,
I demand respect. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, Sir, preferred idiot.
No. So why don't you just come and join us?
Just join us, Sue. Bonnie is saying to Heather, I don't think our governor can do anything to get the cruiser started again. He doesn't have that much power. Well, that's an interesting concept that's going on in the US, I'm finding.
But is it the governor that can decide that? Is it the who can make that decision?
Well, he's the one who's actually suing the US government, the federal government in the US, as well as the CDC.
I mean, the government says here that we'll give you the vaccines, but then they come out and say, well, it's not going to be any guarantee that you're going to travel externally anyway. So then their logic is, well, if you can't travel externally and we've got no infections, why do you need it? And it's just bizarre. It is bizarre now.
So Edith says, be fair, it's good to be wise in hindsight. No one foresaw the problems with the blood clots, and it leaves more for us oldies. Yeah.
Well, they're saying now that under 50s have to sign a waiver if they're going to be offered the AstraZeneca.
Oh, really?
So if they choose it, yes, they've got a choice.
Wow.
If they do choose it, they may have to sign a waiver, but doctors are now saying they're refusing to give them.
Bonnie is saying the senators are working on it, but the stuff in Washington takes a long time.
Yeah,
this whole chopping and changing of everything, and you got 1 minute the government saying something, you got the AMA saying something, you got the doctors saying something. They're all contradicting everybody, and my fear is that they're losing the confidence in the Australian public and the trust when it comes to the vaccine rollout. It's bad enough that there's so many conspiracy theories out there about, the vaccines and all that type of stuff. So, it's only just going to feed into that type of madness that's going around where people are like, see, told you, they rushed it too quickly. And, they should just come out and just say, look, we prefer the AstraZeneca. There are risks like any other vaccine that you take. And, we want you to be vaccinated now, not later.
Yeah. But then again, the question goes like, so we talk about travel. No matter what we do in terms of travel, people are going to move around, and they are moving around already. I mean, we only talk about the hotels that are having the COVID coming in, and the issues that are going on with those hotels. At the end of the day, if we have a look, the number of people that are actually coming in sick is dropping worldwide. But does that mean we've got to destroy a whole industry? Because I mean, really, if we look at the travel industry, it is actually shot to ribbons.
Yes, I agree with you totally. You know, why make these industries suffer when there's no need for them to be suffering? I mean, yes, I understand. You know, they want to get the local people, Australians, into that, but there's only so many Australians, you know, to do these tourism type things. And you know, for a lot of people, you know, cruising is obviously has been is a cheap alternative to doing some of the local cruising, local travel. You know, so it's a bit of a.
Did you see the announcement this week about up in, I think it was Queensland, that there, or could have been even Northern Territory, where they're talking about doing just locals only cruises? Did you see that this week?
Yeah. And the issue then is it's not actually happening. Why think about it? Why can't we get going?
I agree, but it's like a mate of mine said today from Queensland. He lives on the Gold Coast. He said, if you were there yesterday, you had all these restrictions, but from midnight to night, the restrictions don't apply. So what's happened with COVID from 1 minute to midnight to tonight to 1 minute past midnight? What's the difference?
What changes?
It just seems like it's just okay. This is what we're going to do.
So my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, but my opinion is this thing is going to be around for a bucket load of time. We should just learn to actually live with it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a long time dead. I'm 62 this July. Just let people go out and do what let people do. Look, if people want to take whatever they want to do it. If they want to take safeguards, that's fine. But you just can't close the world down like this. And there seems to be these roadblocks all the time. And I totally agree that COVID is legitimate, but I just think, come on, let people make their own decisions from here on in.
Correct. I mean, we're looking at the circumstance here where, and I don't know if you guys are noticing, but as we're going through, I'm just flicking through some of the chat. And really the question that's really going on these days is how long can people survive without having a proper livelihood? Like I said, I mean, you only need to look at some down the road from us. There have been at least 3 travel agents close their doors out the door, office up for lease.
Just empty shops.
Well, I'll give you the greatest scenario in COVID. If you go back not that many years ago, if you wanted to look on YouTube for a cruise, you would look onto YouTube and you say, I want to go on Serenade of the Seas. You'd have 20 people showing you video footage and they'd post it. Now everyone wants to entertain on YouTube because it's now at Facebook, it's a derivation of it's an income.
Yep.
And that's been forced upon them. Everyone wants to be, and I say this with great respect to everyone. Everyone wants to be a movie star because that's what has occurred because they've closed the whole joint down.
Yep.
And it's just a case you've got to do what you've got to do. And I defy anyone to go on and find a video footage of in the last 2 or 3 years of a cruise ship. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There are plenty of cruise videos out there and plenty of channels, even recent ones, you know, before COVID really hit. You know, there are lots of them out there that do some really good videos, and it's not like, you know, they want to make it like a movie. Like, you know, that for me personally, if I want to watch something on YouTube, I want to see what it's like to be on a ship. I don't want to see you doing the everyday mundane things. You know, I want to like go on there and see what, you know, the main dining room looks like, or the
cabins.
centre room area. I want to see what it's like. I don't want to see. Today I woke up and they spend 10 minutes talking about what happened during the night when they could be 10 minutes showing the ship around.
Yep. And
But there's also been there are some people who have been doing videos on ships during COVID that they've done out of Germany,
like
Morgan.
They're really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives you a taste of what we could be in for.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I
what-
agree with you. I'd rather
Well-
see videos like that, because let's face it, because that's what's going to be happening with cruising. We're going to be having the same measures of COVID in cruising. So we need to see more of those videos. What's it like? I mean, not to toot the horn, but Cruising with Ben and David. It's a UK channel. They put up a video just today about the cruises that they've booked for the UK season, which is coming up for them. And, at least with them, they show what it's like to be on there. But they did mention that we're going to show how the COVID measures are being put into place on the ships that they're going on. So, that'll be interesting to look at. Like I said, I would like to see what the actual measures are in place.
I can't say I blame the likes of NCL doing cruises out of Nassau and the Bahamas. I mean, what the Americans and the Canadians are doing to the cruising industry really sucks. So I can't blame companies like that choosing to go and use other home ports and get things happening. I mean,
Royal Caribbean have done that. Ventures of the Seas and what was the other one? I think Jewel of the Seas. That are leaving out of Cozumel.
Yep.
in Odyssey, doing the Mediterranean.
Yes.
Bonnie is saying she learned to live on a budget. I've also learned to save money for my older age. I'm retired on disability income, and I have to pay $2,000 for one of my meds. I take one cruise a year. Wow. Well, that's where we're lucky, guys. We don't pay that much.
No, we just basically get our medication for nothing. Down here, really.
Yeah,
Wow.
Heather's saying just listening, but we'll be right back. Gotta get a drink. These hiccups are horrible.
Um,
Well, we can't hear you hiccuping from here, so it doesn't matter. You're welcome to.
I might be joining you,
Yeah,
Heather.
that's right.
You haven't heard me.
Bonnie is saying way too many cruise YouTubers now. I've unsubscribed from several of them.
There's lots going on at the moment.
There is a bucket load going on.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
go on, Dave.
Sorry, that's going to say. And the biggest issue is people can do what they like and you can choose, but there's such a regurgitation of the information, and that's the biggest thing. But look, it's what it is what it is. What do you do?
Yep. So, where are you going next?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, hopefully I got a free Sydney one with Royal Caribbean through our loyalty points, but whether that happens, who knows?
So that's another interesting question. When are those cruise ships coming back into Australian waters?
Well, I don't think we're supposed to be November, but I can't see it happening. And then we've got the two next year. But look, who knows? I mean, the biggest problem is with the cruise lines is because they gave all these future cruise credits. It's just going to clog, and people took them, and the cruise lines have got to sort of adhere to it. But it's just going to clog up cruises for the next 3 or 4 years, in my opinion. I mean, we know now, looking at cruises we're booked for next year in Vancouver and Alaska, they've just gone through the roof.
I know, but the thing was they were all complaining that cruising would actually die in the arse because of this time frame.
Oh, and look, cruisers are like us; they're rusted on.
Yeah,
they're rusted on. They'll always cruise. I mean, the big thing for me will and I know it's going to happen when cruising starts in Australia. You're going to get the protesters. You're going to get the hand wringers. You watch what happens when cruise ships come back to Australia. You're going to get the hand wringers swinging off the chandeliers. And I just think, well, rotate it vertically, sideways, whatever you like. I'm getting on a cruise ship.
Well, here's the funny thing. They can say what they like. At the end of the day, cruise ships actually give people jobs. So the number of people that are here in Australia that are providing the loading of suitcases and provisions onto the cruise ships, the number of people that are involved in tying up the cruise ships and letting them go, filling up the cruise ships with fuel, and the list goes on.
The catering, it's
and
all the peripheral things, just the tourism on the land-based people relying on cruise ships.
I met a bloke in Sydney who caters to the cruise ships.
Yeah,
he works 4 months a year. He makes that much money in 4 months, and he said, but if that stops, he's got nothing. And it has stopped, you know. And it's I know we're going to get. I know what's going to happen, especially with Sydney. I just know what's going to happen. We're going to get, as I said, we're going to get the hand wringers, but you know they can please themselves.
So Philip is saying that his dad's on a local cruise from Darwin to Broome in June. That's interesting.
That's a fishing trawler.
Well, they do those luxury cruises up that way. I've actually looked into it. They're pretty expensive for what it is. It's like one I looked at was about $9,000 per person. And yes, it's a small cruise, but you know, I don't know. You know, I kind of like being on a cruise ship, and it doesn't matter what size, but I think I like the cruise ship rather than a small yacht type thing.
I'll tell you something interesting. I had a guy come on do a first aid course with us this week. So what's his background? He was a chef. He was a chef on board cruise ships on one of the Holland America Line ships. Don't know which one, but he was on board that ship. And why was he there doing a course? Because he was now moving into disability support. Man, the guy's got to eat.
Yep.
The guy's got to eat.
Baby.
So, you know, Philip is saying that it's my inheritance he's spending. Yeah, I know.
How dare he?
These parents, they're totally inconsiderate. What can I say? Bunny is saying to us in the US, the Longshoremen's Union takes care of making sure the dock workers get paid, and there is still industrial shipping going on. Yes, there is industrial shipping going on in Australia, but there's a limit to how much tourism comes out of an industrial ship.
Yes, it still works for others.
It's still glaring. That's right. That's better.
Yeah.
I've got glary glasses. No,
Am I talking too softly for you, Dave?
I didn't hear you. Sorry, mate.
All you got to do is just wipe down the microwave. You'll get a better signal.
I've got the hair wand on.
Yeah, oh, is that what it is? But mate, but look what your hair one did to me.
I know. That's your age now, mate. That's your age.
Mate, I'm only 2 years younger than you.
We had the magnifying glass.
Only?
Yes.
There's no GST added on that, is there?
Well, the GST is your age.
Touche. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, so Arthur, where's your next trip?
We're still looking. We want to do another cruise. We want to do hopefully a cruise that can come in Adelaide and leave from Adelaide and come back to Adelaide. We would like to do a cruise like that. The reason why is with everything that's going on, we don't want to run the risk of sorry, hang on.
That's all right. The joys of
We're
kids.
trying to think of something to do that we can
It'll be
Sorry.
mine as a couple of kids.
Just keep going. That's fine.
yeah, it'd be great if a couple of kids leave, you know.
There is a window just next to you, isn't there? Oh,
Yeah, there
sorry.
is, but they don't seem to take the hint. No, we're looking at doing an Adelaide to Adelaide type cruise. Simply the fact is that when it comes to the air travel and way things are going at the moment, if there's a snap lockdown, we can't afford to get back quickly. And for us, it's our best option to do an Adelaide to Adelaide type cruise, because if there is something that does happen, at least we know we can get off, you know, instead of waiting or being stuck in another state until it's clear to come back to South Australia. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're looking at something like that. Whatever comes out of Adelaide, we'll probably look at. Most likely, it will be either a Princess or a P&O type cruise. I've got a cruise agent that I've been talking to, and they've been giving me a list of different cruises that are coming in to Adelaide. So hopefully we can pick one soon.
Yep. Dave, are you using mental telepathy here?
Oh, that's my wife. She's dead set. She's had a couple of wines and she's going off like a demented duck, like this on the computer.
Well, that's good. I'm glad she's actually contributing. You can always join us, Sue. Come on, jump on in.
Come on, you're halfway there already.
Exactly.
Sue, we've got
Come on, I've got our wine.
Come on, we've got our wine glasses.
No.
She's been
come on,
forward
this is an
by
Aussie
my
show.
name.
We're having grapes for dinner.
It's an Aussie show. Come on, pop in.
No, I like to watch,
Oh,
but tonight I get
Well, what are we watching?
With
What are
me,
we
I've been silly.
with me, not much. Not even with GST.
can I just say,
Bonnie was saying tourism is a
He
leisure.
does have hair.
Tourism is a leisure travel which is truly not approved and not necessary.
Yeah, I think that's that's an interesting point.
Whilst you say that, Bonnie, the people that are involved in the industry don't agree because it's their livelihoods.
And think of all that, the mental health, the positive things it can do for your mental health.
Correct. Dave, again, you said it's just like when we're on the phone with kids. They always want to annoy at the time. That's right. They pick the right times.
Oh, kids are kids.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I know you didn't. Here's an interesting one. Dana in Alaska is saying, Alaska, anyone? And this is an interesting question because Alaska is closed down, because of the US, but mostly because of Canada. This becomes a very interesting thing. So not only are the Canadians saying no travel, but they're also screwing over the Alaskans, which is not a good thing.
And can I say that Alaska is probably responsible for 80% of the people cruising, because once you do an Alaskan cruise, you're hooked, and it's such a lovely place, and it's just sad what they've done to that. Absolutely sad.
Yeah. Philip is saying, do a Murray River cruise. Now, that's cool.
Love to do one, actually.
You ever done one? Dave?
No, that's a paddle boat.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's bad in that way, but I'm just saying that's a paddle boat. Yeah, I'd love to do it. Actually.
Hey, you know what?
Beautiful.
You know what would be awesome is do a houseboat on the Murray. If not the Murray, then the Hawkesbury.
You know what would be awesome? If the world said, get on cruise ships and go your hardest and be self-responsible. That's what would be awesome.
Yeah,
I just want to do another transatlantic. I just
Yeah.
want to do another transatlantic.
Tell me something. And I'm trying hard to understand why. Why are they picking on the cruise ships?
Well, to be fair, to be fair, us living in Australia, we can't get on a cruise ship, but we can fly 30,000 feet above the air for 25 hours and see everyone within the plane. But that's fine. But when you get on a cruise ship, oh no, that's not happening.
I don't get it though.
With fresh air. And
I've been sick more times on long haul flying than I ever have on a cruise ship.
I agree with you.
I agree with you 100%.
I agree with you.
The systems now that they've been putting into place, I've seen a lot of, and I've read a lot of articles. I've seen a lot of videos about what they are going to be introducing into the cruise ships. I mean, when you think about it, when there's an outbreak of a norovirus, they implement quarantine controls straight away.
Yes.
So, there's no difference to that to COVID, for example, all right?
Yeah.
But what they're doing is with this downtime, a lot of the ships are either going into dry dock to get, they brought forward their retrofitting or, the upgrades and all that type of stuff. And what they're doing is they're fixing up the ventilation for the ships. So instead of the ships having, sectional areas of ventilation, each cabin has its own ventilation area.
Yep.
So there's no cross-contamination. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I watched this brilliant doco called Last Cruise Ship.
About the diamond.
It was, sorry?
About the diamond princess.
Yes, in Japan. Yeah. And it's a brilliant doco, and it shows how it can quickly spread within the ship, all right? But also at the same time, it highlighted the problem with COVID is that it's very quick to spread, but also at the same time, there can be measures taken in place to prevent it from spreading too far. The lessons they learned from that ship has been applied to the rest of the cruise industry.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just to go in here in the chat, Bonnie says, did you see what happened to Pippa Madden from Ocean Time? She flew into Brisbane for a wedding. They were quarantined because there was one positive COVID case and she missed the wedding. Oh, Sue!
Oh, David, you've changed.
Can we back
David,
in 2 seconds?
You've got some intelligence by the looks.
No, not really.
You might.
No.
No, that's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
I'm like David.
Of course.
I see here it says you've booked your second trip to Alaska
Yes.
in 2022.
Yep. We like to book as soon as we're looking at 2023 at the moment. As soon as they come out in 2 years in advance, we always book. We like to book well ahead so we can plan our things and we do our own itineraries. And our very first cruise was Alaska, which changed our lives. We had a passport. I actually got on a plane with David, which was a miracle. We both got on a ship, which was a miracle, and it changed our lives. And now we've done 10 cruises, and we had an opportunity. We're now at the stage where we love the transatlantic cruises and the repositioning. And we're now where we get up to 3 weeks holidays when we go away, rather than trying to stay somewhere for a week. A lot of the times it's cheaper to do a 7-day cruise, 5 to 7 day cruise before we go away.
Yep.
So this time where we were going from Vancouver to Japan, it was cheaper for us to do another relive our Alaskan cruise with a different port, I think, in there, than paying for accommodation on land. And you've got to allow your accommodation, your travel, your food, your entertainment, blah, 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 blah. David's back, so I'm going.
Just give me 2 seconds here.
No, don't stay.
No, stay, Sue, stay. Hey, Dave, just give me a second, okay? I'm just there's a young man I'd like to introduce to you guys. Young Mr. Kenny Ford. Hang on sorry. Ford man here. Kenneth Oakes.
Hello, Kenny.
Yes.
Kenny.
How are you, buddy?
You're all right myself.
Oh, we're all good. We're all good. Kenneth is from Tennessee, and Kenneth is about to experience his very first cruise if it all happens well for him.
Yes.
You've been out, Kenny. You've got your face mask. You've been out.
I actually got ready for school.
Oh, you're going to.
You're going to school now.
Yes.
Have you, I'm going to ask you a real question.
I just pop up before I had to leave.
Oh, good on you, mate. Hey, I've got to ask you a question. Have you had any sleep today?
Yeah, believe it or not, actually, I fell asleep last night before 11 o'clock.
Was it on Georgie's show?
It was on Johnny's Journeys, actually.
So you fell asleep on Johnny's Journey show?
But I wasn't up on panel, though.
Oh,
I
Right.
was in the chat.
oh, okay. So it would have been good if you were. No, we won't go there, right?
I probably would have had if I'd been up on panel. I probably would have fell asleep on hers.
Red might have liked that if you would have fallen asleep on hers. No. I'm just going through the chat here. I've got a troublesome person in here in a second. I'll just hang on. Where am I? Let's just have a look.
And yes, and as an Alaskan,
Oh,
Dana's
no,
saying that
we go back in all time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There we go. So Dana's saying Alaska needs their cruises, which is really important. I mean, it brings in money. Also, Heather is saying, and I think this one is geared up for you, Arthur, and me. It's saying Down Under Cruises, kids may be kids, but some kids are good that they don't do that, and you hardly even know they are there. Just saying. Yeah, well. Bonnie is saying there are small ships in Alaska still offering summer cruises. Very small ships. I'd love it, but very expensive. And those are the ones that are the are coming out of the river cruises, I think.
Yeah.
Dana's also saying I'll never be truly safe not to come anywhere in the US. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's never going to be safe anyway. To be honest. Solex is saying one would believe cruise liners cannot be picky at this time for cost of their services. Low demand with high supply of ships. Actually, I think you're finding the opposite right now. There's actually high supply of cruises and low ship counts because they've just gotten rid of it.
Well, it all comes back to the future cruise credits. What I said before. They're getting booked out before they've been put in the water.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, we'll talk about that. I mean, you look at Virgin Cruises. They've got one ship that hasn't sailed yet, and another one in the water right now, and a third one being built.
Yeah, and that's what it's like.
You're right. I mean, take a look at Royal Caribbean. You know, they just launched. Is it the Odyssey of the Sea, which is doing from Israel. And they've got Wonder of the Seas, which is going to be launched next year. Yeah. So, you know, we don't know what the actual outcome not only of that is, but other like Royal Caribbean. I know that their losses for last year were totaled over $5 billion loss.
Yeah, but they're losing billions every day.
Oh, yeah. You know, for them to run their ships every day is about $150 million.
Yep.
Yeah.
So where are they getting the money from to build these massive ships then?
Well, obviously they're very good accountants, you know.
Look at the stocks. The stocks are going up.
You know, I know when Royal Caribbean first started out, because I saw a doco about it. Someone actually mentioned it in a cruise video I watched about Royal Caribbean, the history of it, and I looked it up. And it's a doco about how the original founder of Royal Caribbean, he brought into like a equity firm, and turned it all around and was able to make what Royal Caribbean is now because of the actions that he did and the investment that they're constantly doing with everything. So, you know, I mean, to build one of these new ships, it's well over $1 billion. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Cruise lines won't go broke. I mean,
No, they won't.
They won't, because the
got
minute
their
they
stock.
open, and you've only got to see the prices now. We're booked, as I said, till the end of next year, and the prices are doubled. And you know what? People will knock people down to get on board.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's just a matter of the green light. That's it.
That's correct. Bonnie is saying that she's had norovirus from cruising, was so sick in Vancouver, been sick with bronchitis from airplanes, 3 days in the hospital, been sick from being a teacher at young kids. You know what? At the end of the day, you're going to get sick anyway. She's going, Alaska cruising is life-changing. The majestic scenery is incredible. Well, look who's come on board. Danny from Griswold
Danny,
Family Vaco. We
hello.
haven't seen you in a
Gosh.
while, buddy.
Danny.
Nice to have you. Dana is saying it's something else. What else?
I'm sure Dana would say that. It just looks stunning.
Yep.
Yes, Anthony's here.
And we'll get there in a minute. We've got TJ from TNK Travels.
Hi,
Welcome
TJ.
aboard, TJ. Now, where
Hey,
is
TJ.
Dale. Hi, Dale.
Dale? Yeah, it's good to see Kenny smiling. You keep smiling, young man. I'll just go down because people are saying g'day, g'day. We've got Dave said something else again. I don't know where Dave gets to say these things. It's mental telepathy.
He must be typing with his toes.
Get the jab, even if you're afraid of needles. Then if you really love to travel, I mean, really get the jab. Yeah, the jab is important. Anthony from Bomber Rush, welcome aboard, buddy.
Hi,
We haven't seen you in ages. Nice to have you aboard. And if you feel the need, just click on the link and pop in the chat. Bonnie is saying that the cruise industry made billions from its past cruises. Yeah, well, some of us future cruisers would like to have a go too. Actually, while we're saying that, Ilana and I had a thought that, you know what, cruising, all the people that are involved in cruising these days have had so much enjoyment and fun on the cruises that we have decided to set up a charitable organization that allows people to donate so that people who are less able to do so can get a cruise, whether it be via a loan from the Facebook page or whether it be a gift.
Gift, yes.
So to show you all, I'm just going to share the screen here and show you a Facebook page that we've created that will allow you to donate if you so wished. Give me a second. I will just. There we go.
Helping Hands for Cruising.
The Facebook page is called Helping Hands for Cruising, and what that does is that it allows. Whoops, let me change a couple things here for a minute because everybody's been talking to me, so I'm going to try and clear some space here. Okay, there we go. It allows people to just tap into the link there, the PayPal link that's up there at the moment, and by donating $20, $30, $50, $100, whatever you feel,
cents, whatever,
that would allow people to be able to that are in difficult circumstances, that would be allow them to cruise and probably give them an opportunity to change their life for the better, a once in a lifetime circumstance. And one of the people that actually inspired me to set this up is this young man that we've got sitting here in the chat. This young man over here, Mr. Kenneth Oakes. Kenneth inspired me greatly because I actually watched him do he was with a creators meetup in a place called Helen in Georgia. Is that right? Is that the place?
It's Helen, Georgia. Yeah, it's basically a town of built like like Bavarian, Germany. Like it's got all kinds of different restaurants in it, German restaurants and things in it, and stores and
So,
hotels.
not to go too greatly into Kenny's life, but one of the things that was inspirational. Kenny is a sufferer of cerebral palsy, and there is a video put out by a guy called Darian from the Magnificent Germany with Darian. If you get an opportunity to have a look at it, that was a video on Helen, Georgia, and Kenny was actually involved in a very, very difficult walk. It was quite inspiring, and because of that particular video, I felt that it would be beneficial if we would give people such as Kenny the opportunity to travel on a cruise, because we all know what cruising does for people. So what we were looking at was the opportunity for young Mr. Kenny and the like. It's a perpetual thing that we're going to try and do every year, get somebody who is deserving and get them onto the cruise and let them have a cruise life. So I was wondering whether anybody out there in the chat would be willing to take a look at that Facebook page and jump on in and donate.
Well, I'm on board.
Good on you, Dave.
So
Thank you so much. Dave, you've made another comment in case you didn't know. Sue said, it's not so, Sue said, when cruising restarts, then the cruise credits will go ballistic. So pricing could be affected to allow everyone to use their credits quickly before paying travelers. Kick in, elbow, cough. Yeah, right.
I can't
yes,
even
go on,
understand
Dave.
that.
You don't?
Come on.
Well, I'm interested in how this is going to play out with the COVID restrictions that they're going to put on into the cruise ships. I mean, they're already talking about, when it first resumes, a 50% capacity and balcony only, so no internal ones. So, are these cruises going to sell out way before anything happens? Like,
they're getting awfully close, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Like, how does the future cruise credit play out to the way that they're going to implement the new restrictions that they have in place?
Well, it's a dollar value, so they'll spend the dollar value. I mean, $1,200 was $1,500, and $2,500 was $3,000. So they'll spend them. They'll. I mean, we always sell balconies, but people will go. They'll just spend them, and you're just not going to get on. I'm telling you, you're not going to get on because the cruise lines are going to want to get rid of the credits as soon as they can, and it's going to be a nightmare. It will.
Well, I reckon you're right there, David. It will take a while before the backlog of cruise credits come out, at least 2 or 3 years. I mean, people, and you're going to find that, like, people are going to want to book a cruise with their future cruise credits, find out that they can't because the actual cruise is sold out. So then they go, okay, well, if I've got a time limit of 1 or 2 years, and if cruises are booked out a year in advance, sold out a year in advance, what are you going to do? I've got this money. Are you going to extend it for me? So I bet you'll find a lot of the cruise lines will extend their future cruise credit because they're finding that their cruises are getting booked out.
You know what, Arthur? I know the best way to fix the issue of having bucket loads of people trying to fight their way to a cruise. The next group cruise we do, I will be running karate classes on board ship so people can actually hone their skills to be able to beat off the Mega Millions.
Sean,
yeah.
Sean, after 8 beers, I'm Bruce Lee. I don't need your lesson.
You need 8?
No, because 9 I go to sleep.
He's gone.
Yeah,
Normally you go to sleep, what,
Yeah,
on 8.5?
yeah. That's it. That's it.
Well, the good news
But
about
Go on.
the good news about 8 is that you don't have any feeling as the whack comes in.
That's it. But I've got back to Arthur. I've got a mate in Ohio. He's got about 13 or 14 future cruise credits. He'll never use them. Never use them. Not possible. What are you going to do?
You heading out, Kenny?
I am. I gotta go for now.
All right, buddy. Thank you for popping on. You have a great day.
Nice meeting you.
for having me. Nice meeting y'all.
It's a pleasure.
Good
You
night,
take care,
Kenny.
buddy.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, mate.
Now, Heather is saying that she's listening, but she has to put some dead people and babies on the floor so people can try and save them.
Okay.
She's teaching first aid, so good on her. Whew, I was worried there for a second. Philip is saying that if internal cabins are not used by passengers, they can be used by staff to help the social distancing. Well, that's an interesting concept.
Well, yes, there's another issue. Staff, cramped quarters.
Yeah, we've got White Tiger Vlogs on board.
Hello.
Hey there, how you
Yeah.
going? Another person in from Traveling Adventures of Mike. I never get that name.
Can we just mention them as well? What Mike's doing?
Yeah,
As well?
Mike has got an incredible channel. What he did was he started off to break a record, and what this channel is doing
So the record is the longest live.
was the longest live stream, but they've more than
Live stream.
smashed the record anyway. They've been going 20 days straight.
24 hours a day.
Now, what they've done with this particular channel is, in actual fact, we hear of a number of people whose lives have actually been turned around because of the channel. Because people have got somewhere to go, someone to listen to talk to argue with, laugh with, cry with, and it goes 24 hours a day.
That's good.
And it's been we've been involved as well. We pop in, and the discussions are interesting, are hilarious, sad, everything.
Some of them you can kill yourself laughing. Others you put your head in shame and go, why? But it's fun.
Oh, my tigers come from TPT.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's
Sean,
right. You did.
Sean and Alana, can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
I've been following you for a little while, not that long. You started off with 2 or 3 people. How well are you guys going with the fact we're not cruising, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, but hats off to you guys. You're stuck with it, and you're going through this. You're going well.
Thank you for that, Dave. You're not embarrassing us. You're actually making us feel quite touched. Actually, we appreciate it. Even though you come on board and start talking about microwaves that don't have good signals.
You'd miss me.
You're right. I would miss you. You know.
Don't go now.
No, you
One of the family.
I'm the only person that says I'm going to get some stuff for vlogging, and I go to the kitchen section of somewhere else. But no, you're killing it, and you've stuck with it. You've done well.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that.
And we appreciate the friendship of everybody. Which
Yeah.
is nice. Yeah.
Same here. I appreciate you guys having me on board. I mean, it's really good to connect with Australian cruisers. I mean, I've connected with a lot of international cruisers, but I think connecting with Australian cruisers is probably unique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
we
don't
need more Aussies to come on board.
Surprisingly, there aren't that many either on, which I find amazing.
Sorry, Dave, I interrupted
Sorry.
you.
No, I'm just going to say we don't need an interpreter either.
No, that's right. We do the best we can.
Oh,
Speaking of Darian,
here's
g'day, buddy. How are you,
Hey,
man?
Darian.
Welcome aboard.
Good
Now-
day, mates.
Now, Dave, you've said Aussies love to cruise, whether it is in Oz or overseas.
Yep.
So, good on you, mate.
Well said, Dave.
Mate, dead cow carcass, super glue us to it, put it in the cruising channel, off we go, we're down in the channel, 6-pack of beer, giddy up.
Mate, it doesn't even have to be dead cow carcass. It could be dead lamb carcass too.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
He doesn't care.
Hang on, see you talking.
As long as it floats.
Yeah, look up further what you said. When it comes
Oh,
to
when I
cruising,
said, tell me what I said. Hang on.
yeah.
Look down here, don't
No. When it comes to
You don't see.
when it comes to cruising,
You know, one thing I've got to say, like even on the first cruise that we did, we were quite surprised how the crew loved coming to Australia. Like, they actually said next to the US, they look forward to coming to Australia. And I asked one of them one day, why is that? And they said, it's not because, you know, of the tipping and stuff like that. That's irrelevant to them. They come here because they like to how Australians are so laid back, so friendly, and they make you feel part of their own family. And, you know, for them, that's kind of good, because to me, I think that's fantastic. You know, like if someone thinks that way, and it makes me want to be more friendly towards them and, you know, include them in part of my experience.
Yep.
okay,
That's true.
Arthur,
Sue wants to say something.
Arthur.
Hang on. Do it.
Go on, Sue.
Arthur, can you please ask David about Rupesh?
Rupesh. Was he a server?
He was. How'd you guess that?
Yeah.
He's a fellow that we met in.
Our first cruise.
No, hang on. That's it. Do you want to come and tell this story? No, sorry. Where was he from? Mauritius. And we basically sponsored him. He's got married, had a kid, had a child, and we're like grandparents. And that's the sort of things you develop when you meet people overseas. And that was our first ever cruise. And we sent him over money, and he's not that matters, but they're lovely people that you meet, and that's what happens on cruise ship.
Yeah, same with us. Our server, one server we remember, his name was he was a Filipino. His name was Nick, and he was fantastic. Like, you know, he was that type of person that didn't have to write your order down. Like, he actually remembered what you wanted, and, you know, came back with everything that you wanted, those little extra things. You know, he stopped and talked with us and made us feel really good, put Brooklyn to ease, you know, doing magic tricks and all that type of stuff. So, you know, for us, and one day I actually really remember this vividly. Like, we're in Windjammer, me and Brooklyn were having some breakfast, and Nick came and sat down and had breakfast with us. It was his day off. He was getting something, and he came down and he actually had a bit of breakfast with us. And, you know, and we were absolutely thrilled that he chose to have breakfast with us. Like, it made us feel very special.
That's cruising.
Yeah, the guy we remember, the server we had was a guy called Tick
from Thailand. He was the most beautiful fellow.
The first time we got in, and we had it was on the Golden Princess. We were in one of the dining rooms there, and we'd had our table for two, and he was the server that was serving us. He decided that we wanted a photo of Tick, so he took a threesome, him, us, and it was like a selfie. It was an absolutely amazing. Every time we went there, we asked for him.
We had to sit with Tick.
He was incredible.
Gorgeous.
I remembered when we first met him. I said, "You guys are going to come to Vegas. You'd be the best card counters with your memory. They got memories like that. They never forget you. You can go on within 5 minutes to know who you are."
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's unbelievable. So
Dave, you've said, Sue in brackets this time, if you book the day the cruise companies release the itineraries, you have a chance.
Yeah, that's pretty right. You got to jump on quick.
You have to be quick.
Look who's here, young Mr. Tyler. How are you, buddy? Nice to have you on board.
Are you up early?
Tyler.
Very early, isn't
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay. Well, that's early for some.
Yeah, well, he's a young'un and he's
That
off to
is
school. So welcome aboard,
Welcome,
Tyler. So what's next? When are we going to actually hit the shore, hit the boats, the ships, the
Well,
excursions?
Middle of next year for Australia.
You reckon the
Yeah.
middle of next year?
Yeah, mate. I hope I'm wrong, but I just can't see it beforehand. What do you think, John?
I don't know. My worry is that we're not going to be able to fly out. We've got our group cruise coming up in October of next year, so that's a worry for
just
us.
crossing fingers.
Hang on, I'm crossing everything. Even my voice is going up.
We've got to get those vaccinations happening first. Last.
Well, I can't see vaccinations finishing until the middle of next year. And if that's the case, you're talking double vaccinations. We're supposed to go the end of next year as well, but this year's not going to happen. I've written that off, and then
This year's out of it.
and I say one thing, and I've sort of been pretty much pro the government, and I am pretty much pro the government, not through political persuasion, but who's in at the moment. But gee, they've dropped the ball bad on this. I don't know what's happened, and I just think it's, I don't know. I had so much confidence, and as I said, there's probably underlying, but there's a lot of double talking and double Dutch going on, and take me back 3 months ago to where we are now, and I just think it's crash and burn at the moment.
Yeah. Yep. It's painful. It is painful.
I don't know if you guys subscribe or look at Cruise Weekly. It's the Cruise Line Industry Association. They put out a weekly newsletter about the cruise industry here in Australia. About 2 or 3 months ago, they were in talks with the federal government to do similar to the UK version of
Cruises to Nowhere.
Cruises to Nowhere thing, and they were very hopeful that it was going to happen, but we haven't heard anything since. So
I don't reckon that that's such a bad thing to do, Cruises to Nowhere. I mean, at least you're getting out there, even if it's a 3-day cruise or a 6-day cruise or whatever.
Yeah, and it's something that we can do easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got to put this up. Philip is saying that the Princess Cruises he's booked in January still has most mini suites available. Dwight, g'day, Dwight from Us and More Heads Half.
G'day, Dwight.
Just wanted to come in and wish a happy real birthday. Oh, thanks. Real birthday. Yeah, these Yanks don't understand what real time frame is. Tyler saying g'day to Najuma and a few others. Here's the thing, though. Do you think that the CDC in the US has any bearing on Australian cruising?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Absolutely.
they do. I think with what's happening with our federal government with dropping the ball on the vaccine, I think they're looking towards the US to see how they handle it there to how they're going to handle it here. Mm. So if they have a successful cruising season, regardless of cruise lines, for instance, Royal Caribbean, that's coming out of Cozumel, if they have successful cruises, then Australia will probably look at something along the lines of that, implement their policies and procedures from them rather than try to do it ourselves. Because honestly, I don't think our government has the capacity to even organise it, let alone implement it.
But what about the ships that are coming out of Singapore? The cruises that are happening out of Singapore and Malaysia. I mean, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, not one case.
Yep.
Not one case. And
just very quickly, just very quickly, Edith says the pharmaceutical companies have let us down by the supply of vaccines. They're keeping them for their own countries. Yeah, well, that's another challenge.
No, Edith is spot on with that. Edith is spot on. And I mean, the issue is, it's not a case of saying, well, okay, Australia's going to start in September or August or whenever it is.
Yeah.
Let's jump on a ship and all go down there. They've got to quarantine staff. They've got to get... And the problem is they come down here and they only, accommodate Australian people.
Yep.
They're not going to fill ships. They're not going to do it.
But wait a minute, Dave. Dave, the biggest ship that Royal Caribbean has is sitting off the coast of Israel, doing cruises for the Israelis, which have no more than about 5 million people as their gross population.
Different demographic. I'm telling you, the big issue when they come down to Australia, it's going to be, and you can thank the Ruby Princess and everything else, it's going to be hell in the handbasket. I'm telling you. It's not that simple, Sean. It's not that simple.
I think you're both right in both aspects. Dave's right. Like with the first one, there's going to be big media attention to it, and you'll see that there'll be no case whatsoever on there. And then we'll have more and more people do it. Until there's something happening, that's when the media will jump on board. You know, they only report bad news. They don't report, there's been X amount of cruises and there hasn't been any cases, like, in Italy as well, like MSC, they're running cruises out of Italy there. So, and we haven't heard anything along the lines of how bad it is over there. And Italy's one of the most affected countries. So if they are able to do cruising and survive, then it should be okay for everybody else, and including here in Australia. And, even you said, Dave, there's a backlog of people wanting to use their cruise credits. So that'll be one way of the cruise companies getting rid of the credits and something like that. But I also bring up one point. To staff a ship, it takes around about 90 days for them to restaff the ship.
It's 3 months.
But P&O's already started cruising, accruing their ships in Singapore.
Yeah.
But
they've already started.
Go on, sorry.
They've already started putting on P&O Explorer, on all the ships that they've got. So,
but what the other thing, another said, look, super glue me to a ship tomorrow. I'm happy to go. It's not the fact that the ships will come down. It will be the fact of what the conditions will be for you to cruise. And I'm telling you, being an Australian, you're Aussies, as soon as you start implementing things like you got to wear masks, which they will, they're going to do it. They're going to wear masks and do that. You're going to have people dropping off like flies. It will happen. And I'm not getting on a cruise ship with a mask. Not happening.
Tyler is saying that the Royal Caribbean's managing director of Asia Pacific has told that she will be working with the Singapore government to welcome Aussie sailors once a bubble is agreed between the countries. Well, we've already started with New Zealand, so
and there's discussions about
that was the next country that Australia is looking at doing a bubble with is actually Singapore, because the flying of it is direct from Singapore to Adelaide, for example. Before all of this happened, was a 2-day flight, twice daily flight. It arrived at 8 a.m. in the morning and left at 8 o'clock at night.
Yep. Dwight from Us and More is busy saying he'll have a drink for us on the group cruise if we're in lockdown.
Thank
the
you,
chances
Dwight.
are they'll be in lockdown before we are.
That would be.
And if he's drinking for us, it'll want to be a big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of this weak stuff. He's got to have full strength.
Yeah, well, we'll be doing our group cruise on the Horizon, on the Carnival Horizon, which has a brewery on it. So there'll be a shipload of booze on there.
Did you say shipload?
Yeah, well, I was trying to be clean.
You were close.
We are family friendly,
I
right?
got it, Sean. I got it.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. Can only wait and see. predict and we can imagine and wish.
You're right, Alana. No one knows, really.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we like, but
Yeah.
we've got 3 booked. If they happen, they happen. If they don't, I'll come on here and annoy you guys. Happy days.
Please
That's
do.
okay.
We
Hey-
wait for it.
Hey, I want to know, are you coming on our cruise or not?
I want to know if I can get out of Australia to do it.
You've got my permission, mate.
Mate, buy me floaties. I can dog paddle that far.
Hey, listen, you've got to come on board because that's the only way we're going to get Matt and Kimbra.
Oh, actually, yeah. Hey, I've got to admit that. I have spoken to Matt, and he said that. He said, you come on and we'll go. I don't know how I can dog paddle with 20 kilos of Vegemite, but I'll do my best.
20 kilos of Vegemite? What do you want to do that for, mate? That
For
stuff's
Matt, mate,
absolutely...
he loves it. He loves it.
What's wrong with him?
He's sick. He really is sick.
Alana, I thought you were the classy pair of you pair, and you said what was wrong with it? Seriously?
Hey, look,
Hey.
Brooklyn. We got Brooklyn a
There you go.
Vegemite jar. There you go. Like,
Oh, there you go.
You know, made for her. So, see, and it's empty. She loves a Vegemite.
Oh, look, I
you
don't
got-
mind a thin smear on toast. We do have Vegemite
Yeah.
in the house. See,
That's it.
Very, very thin.
Yes.
When you travel, one of Sue's favourite things is she'll go into the buffet and say, here's a Vegemite, try it. And, of course, Americans use it like a spoonful.
Yeah.
And, you know, you see them reach around on the floor in the convulsions. But Matt Allen loves it. He loves it.
Oh, so now we know how to bribe him.
Okay. We'll
Yeah,
know what
you tell Matt Allen we'll deliver him Vegemite, he'll be there.
All right. We'll have to.
But
yes.
you've got to come, mate.
We'll have to offer
You've got
some
to come.
bribes.
As well as you,
Yeah,
Arthur. You've got to come on board.
But no,
Yeah,
look,
we're still looking around. I mean, we're aiming for 2023 with everything that's going on. I mean, you know, this week was just like a, you know, kick in the guts to a lot of people. And I'm not just saying for like the cruising industry and stuff like that. I know plenty of people who want to go back and see their mum and dad. You know, they haven't seen them in a couple of years, and you know they're desperate to go back and see them. And you know, people like that, you know, they need to go back and see their family as well. You know, they've immigrated here to Australia. They've set up a new life, and you know, just like us, how we're worried about our mum and dad, they're worried about theirs, and they want to go back and see theirs. So, you know, it's a kick in the guts for a lot of people, and the quicker we get on top of this, the better.
Absolutely. Well,
Amen to that. That's all we can say.
well,
Right now.
folks, we've come to another hour and a bit, 20 minutes longer than we're expecting to go.
happy birthday, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
happy
you, mate.
birthday, Sean.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
How old is he?
Okay.
How old are you?
80.
I'm only 60.
60
Oh,
today.
66 GST.
No, 47 and a half GST.
I can't work that out.
No.
That's not a round number. Sorry.
Guys, thanks for coming on board. Have a good night.
Okay, guys.
Those of you across the pond, have an awesome day. We'll catch you around the
Bye.
traps.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye now. Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
And folks, thanks for coming on board.
Thanks for
It's been
joining
an
us.
awesome night. We will catch up with you on Saturday at midday Melbourne time, and next week, Wednesday, the same time, 8 p.m. Have an awesome day.
Have a great week. See you later.
Bye now.